Welcome to Say More in Raymore, the City of Raymore's official podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Harmer, Communications Director for the city. In this final episode of 2025, I want to share a few things that might be helpful for our residents and for visitors to Raymore over the winter months. First, we have trout being stocked regularly at Johnston Lake at Hawkridge Park by the Missouri Department of Conservation. This program is stocking trout throughout the winter months in more than 40 cities or city lakes across the state. And in Raymore, if you catch a tagged trout, you can actually exchange that for a gift card at our Raymore Parks and Recreation office at Centerview during normal business hours. Remember, you do need a Missouri fishing license if you are between the ages of 16 and 64, and you also need trout permits if you're going to keep the trout. Daily limit is 4, and please make sure that you're also helping to keep our lake and park clean and avoid leaving litter behind. Hawkridge Park is located at 701 Johnston Parkway, and it includes a paved walking trail around the entire 12-acre lake, an accessible fishing dock, bridge, and jetty. You helped name our snow plows for the winter season, and while we hope that winter weather stays away for a little while longer, I just wanted to share those names so that you can be on the lookout when they are hitting the streets in Raymore. So we've got Winter Warrior, Pushy McSnowface, Sir Plows-A-Lot, Snowby One Kenobi, The Big Leplowski, Ice Ice Baby, No Mo Snow, Betty Whiteout, Snow Punisher, Pillsbury Plowboy, Salty Dog, and Blade of Glory. So be on the lookout. All of our trucks do have those decals on them, so take a look when you see them drive by through town. Thank you all to everyone who participated in that contest. It's just makes it a little more fun. We also have a brand new updated What's Happening map on our website at raymore.com/current projects. We made it easy to stay up to date on new development activity, the status of these projects, public infrastructure projects, and more. So again, that's raymore.com/current projects. Check it out, and you can view the map and see what's happening near you. And finally, before we get to our guest, Chief Jim Wilson, I would love to know what other areas of the City of Raymore government are you interested in learning more about? Who do you want me to talk to? What topics would you like to hear more about? If you have an idea, questions, comments, please send them to me at communications@raymore.com. All right, now on to our guest. So we have had some recent fraud incidents in Raymore, and today we're talking to Police Chief Jim Wilson.
Good morning. I'd like to share a little information. Recently, if folks are paying attention to the blotter, they will have seen some scam reports that we've taken. And this one of the most recent scam is folks pretending to be in law enforcement and either telephoning or texting victims and indicating that there's some sort of crisis, though the ones now are you missed the jury duty, so now there's a warrant for your arrest, and if you don't pay, we're going to come and arrest you, or some variance of that. And in those scams, it's typically, okay, well, I need you to go get Bitcoins and go to a Bitcoin kiosk and put these things in, put the Bitcoins in and transfer them to a certain account, and then there shortly after, those people disappear. And then folks are out a significant amount of money. Or the other one is typically similar details. We're with law enforcement. There's a fine. Here's a summons. We have a summons for you, and you can pay the fine over the phone by going and getting some gift cards, whether it be a Green Dot card or Walmart gift card or whatever card, and then they have them scratch off part of the card and get the numbers, and then the victims are out a significant amount of money, and those folks disappear pretty quickly. And that seems to be what's going on in not just our community, but in the region. They've been working, and folks have not got wise yet to the fact that nobody in law enforcement is going to call you and tell you that you have a warrant for your arrest and then ask you to go and buy gift cards or go and get Bitcoin. They're not going to do that. They're going to tell you, come to the police department and post a bond or what have you. They're not going to ask you over the phone for any kind of money or any kind of bond money, any kind of fine money, they're not going to ask you to pay a water bill. They're not going to ask you to pay, the list just keeps going on and on. I slipped in there with the water bill. That was one of the most recent, not the most recent, but before the law enforcement scams. It was somebody in utilities, like a water utility or billing, calling somebody saying, hey, we're going to shut off your water if you don't pay this amount of money over the phone right now. And then there's still the scams of the folks that are pretending to be long, distant family members needing bond money to bond out. But the two most prevalent going on right now in our area, in our community, are folks pretending to be in law enforcement and requesting Bitcoin or gift card money for a fictitious summons or traffic ticket, or failing to go to a jury, being part of a jury, and or just the fact that you have a warrant.
So if it's surprising and you know that you didn't do anything, you don't have an outstanding.
You shouldn't be paying.
You shouldn't be paying. Yes.
Any question? If there's, the jury deal. Everybody gets summons to jury. At least I have 2 or 3 times. So that's not unheard of, right? So it makes you go, oh, well, maybe I did get that. Well, you can always call the county in which they're saying this happened, and the only county in which you can go be a jury member in is one in which you live. So you call that county. For us, it's all going to be Cass County, and they can tell you don't give out any personal information. And so in one of our recent cases, unfortunately, a victim gave up their personal information. They didn't give up any kind of money, so they saved themselves there. But however, when you're giving up your personal identification information, that will lend to identity theft, and people open up accounts in your name, such as, getting credit in your name, opening up credit cards, using your identification for fraudulent use. And that is very hard to overcome as well.
Right. I think you have some personal experience with that, unfortunately.
I'm a victim of that many times.
Yes. So, bottom line, first, just don't pick up the phone if you don't know the number.
Yep.
Number 1, don't answer a text or ever click on a link on a text if you don't know the number.
And the other thing is these people do this all day long, every day. So they're well greased up. They know what to say. They know how to pull you into it, make the story be even more believable. If I called you and I told you, well, I have a summons here, and I give you a summons number, so now you're like, oh, they have a summons number, so this must be legit. No, that doesn't mean it's legit. No agency is going to call and ask you to pay stuff, a bill, a fine, a bond over the telephone. They're just not going to do that. That's
and
just not what we
especially
do.
with Bitcoin and gift cards.
Right.
Law enforcement agencies, government agencies do not accept those as forms of payment.
No, we do not. And quite frankly, most of the if there was a jury, a warrant for you, I've been doing this 30-some years. I've never heard of anybody getting a warrant for their arrest for not appearing at a jury. So I think you get a letter and probably get in trouble with the judge, but
sure.
I don't necessarily think that you would get a warrant for your arrest. So, and again, it's if you didn't get a summons in the mail that has summoned you to court to be a jury member, then there's no warrant for your arrest. I've went out and have done identity theft and fraud awareness type trainings and had conversations with folks all over our community, but it continuously happens. And it's very concerning that folks are continuously being victims, so we need to do what we can to try to help. So if your listeners are knowing of folks that may need to report something, have them report, because oftentimes folks, they're embarrassed about being a victim. But, just maybe we might get lucky and something can connect them to another case where maybe this individual's local. The problem is, and more so than not, I would say these folks are nowhere near Raymore. They're nowhere near Missouri.
Are they even in the United States?
Yeah, they very well may not even
Right.
be in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard to track some of these folks down. Unfortunately, the numbers that they use, the telephone numbers that they're calling from, or the text numbers that the text that are associated in telephone numbers, those are all not in good working order. 5 minutes after the deal's done. So folks need to remember that, and especially with Christmas coming on, the holiday season is, it seems to be picking up with the scams and all the fraud. I would caution our residents to make sure that after the holidays, they're going to be setting out all this trash. Boxes that show I just got an 85-inch TV here for Christmas. We don't need to be announcing to folks traveling through our community what kind of items we have within our households. So I would encourage our community to make sure that they cut those boxes down.
So that is another thing that we need to be aware of this holiday season. Also, when you're out doing your shopping, just have some situational awareness around you.
You definitely need to have some situational awareness. I can't tell you how many times I see folks that are walking around the stores. We go in the stores all the time, especially during this time. We're doing spot visits and just trying to have a presence. I couldn't tell you, and this is nothing against women, but I see women all the time having their purse in their carts, and they're so busy either with children or looking, watching out, trying to get down an aisle or see something on the shelf that they want, and they're reaching over to get it, and they're not paying attention to their cart. Every year we take probably 3 or 4 reports where purses get stolen out of carts, so it's very important to keep an eye on that, as well as when you get back to the car. Once you take your stuff to the car, you may start the car because of the cold weather. So that means the door's unlocked. You have the trunk open. Well, your purse is in your car, or the men, they often will put their phones or their wallets right in the center console or in plain view. Pay attention to who's coming up to your car while you're putting groceries or putting goods into your vehicle, because it only takes a split second. These folks do this stuff all the time. That's their primary job. And so just help us by knowing who's around you. If you're not in your car, lock your car and don't leave valuables in the open. I would encourage you to not do that. I don't know. You could probably walk out in our parking lot right now, maybe see a few that would be having some valuables and just laying on top of their console. So just be aware of that, because you're just putting up a billboard for, folks that are going to come in and do bad things and steal from us. And if it's an opportunity, they're going to do it. It's a crime of opportunity. They're going to see a purse or a wallet sitting in the front seat, and you're not paying attention, and you're got your head in your trunk trying to arrange things. They're going to reach in and take that stuff. So please be aware of who's around you.
Right. And I think you just endorsed crossbody purses. So they're ones you can keep
Sure.
on you all the time really easily.
Yep.
Just at least so that you can keep your things close to you when you're out and about.
Right.
Because you never know who's around.
Nope.
Who's watching.
You never know who's around, especially during the holidays. You want to be on high alert now for sure. And it's crowded at the stores. This week, I went out with my wife this weekend. We went shopping as well. It was pretty crowded at different locations. Next week, it's going to be even worse.
For all the people that left it for the last minute, like me.
And me. I said we went last week, but I'll be going again next week.
Sure. You couldn't get her gifts when you were with her,
No,
clearly.
nope. I have to wait till
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so just to review, law enforcement's never going to threaten to arrest you if you do not immediately pay them anything over the phone or gift cards or Bitcoin. That's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen. And if that's never going to happen, and if you do get a call as such, please contact the law enforcement agency, preferably us. I mean, you're listening to us, so it's probably Raymore. But if you're in rural Raymore, you're going to want to contact the Cass County Sheriff's Office. And if you're on the line over into Belton, you'll want to contact Belton. But everybody, please be aware that if they get these, we need to be made aware of it, and please report it.
And do not feel embarrassed to
No.
call if it's already started. Like help Raymore PD help you stop it as soon as possible with the resources that they have, if that's possible. If you are not sure if something is a scam or legitimate, don't hesitate to contact Raymore Police.
Yeah, we're just a phone
happy
call.
to help.
Yeah, we're just a phone call away.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that I would rather you call us and ask us as opposed to, waiting, down the road and you become a victim. I mean, still call us if you become a victim, but we would rather end this before you do become a victim.
Exactly. And yes, always happy to help answer questions. If it turns out to be nothing, fine, no harm done. You just want to be sure, and you want to know for sure that whether someone's trying to scam you or not.
Right. And these people, just remember, these people do this all the time, so they're very, very well versed on how to trick you.
Right.
So if anybody's calling you and asking you to pay for something that you weren't a part of and you know nothing about, the chances are it's probably a scam.
Got it. Anything else you want to leave us with?
No, I think that just be safe this holiday season. By the way, we're going to be out in force doing alcohol enforcement coming up this weekend. And I want everybody to be safe, be responsible. If you're having a few drinks, make sure you have a ride, call somebody, watch your surroundings when you're at the stores, and then don't leave any valuables in your car.
All right, got it. Thank you so much, Chief Wilson.
Thank you.